Hi everyone and welcome back to the Chess Essentials. In this today's video we will discuss the isolated pawn. An isolated pawn is potentially weak because no other pawns can help to defend it, and also the square in front of an isolated pawn is vulnerable and it is weak and enemy pieces can get control of this square easily. So let's see a diagram in which you can see the worst side of an isolated pawn. So in this diagram you can see the worst side of an isolated pawn. The pawn on the c6 and a6 are weak and also the black pieces are very defensively placed. So here white has a clear advantage because black has targets and white does not have any targets in the position. So here white has a clear advantage and white enjoys a better position. But this is not a complete picture. Let's see another diagram. Let's see this diagram. In this diagram you guys will see the good side of an isolated pawn. Here it is white to play and white play the move c captures b5 and black plays c captures b5, and now you can see that black give himself an isolated pawn on the d6, but this isolated pawn is not weak here. Here black enjoys many advantages due to the isolated pawn on the d6. Here the isolated pawn provides the advanced support point to the black d7 knight, and black d7 knight can jump to the c5 square and also to the e5 square, and also the isolated pawn provides black the open file for his rooks, and also the diagonal of the black bishop is open now. So in the previous diagram you guys have seen the worst side of an isolated pawn, and in that diagram you have seen that the square in front of the isolated pawn was controlled by the enemy pieces, but in this diagram you guys have seen the good side of an isolated pawn. Here black's isolated pawn gives many advantages to the black, and also white does not have control on the square in front of the isolated d6 pawn. So black is not in trouble due to his isolated pawn. Now let's see another diagram. And now we will see that how white can play this position with an isolated d4 pawn. First of all, the isolated pawn gives white control of the e5 square, and also white has an semi-open file which is the e file, and also some pressure on the black king. So white has kingside attacking chances in this position, but what black has in this position? In this position black has nice control of the d5 square and a permanent pressure on the d4 pawn. But as more pieces of white get traded off, then the d4 pawn will become a potential weakness. Because white wants to attack on the king side, so white play the move bishop to the g5, and white wants to get rid of the defenders of black king. And black play knight to the b4, and white bishop goes to the b1, and black play b6. And white play knight to the e5, and black play bishop to the b7, and white play rook to the e3, and white wants to attack the black king as soon as possible. Here black play g6 and white play rook to the g3 and black play rook to the c8. And now you can see that black is ignoring that white is attacking on the king side. And now white play bishop to the h6 and black rook moves to the e8 and white play a3, black knight moves to the c6, and now white play knight captures g6 and h captures g6 and bishop captures g6, and black recapture with the f pawn, and here white play queen to the b1. So here black should resign the game because in few moves he will be checkmated, but black does not resign and play knight to the e5. Now he captures c5 and knight to the d5, and knight captures d5, and black play king to the h7 and white play knight to the f6 check, and now black play king to the h8, and now bishop to the g7 check, king captures bishop, and now queen capture on the g6, and black resign here because on the next move black will be checkmated. So we have seen that in this game an isolated pawn give its owner an active piece play, but as these pieces get traded off, then the isolated pawn will become the weakness. And worst case is that when all minor pieces are get traded off and only rooks remain on the board. So we have seen the worst side of an isolated pawn and the good side of an isolated pawn. Hopefully you have understand the concept of isolated pawn. So this is all about today's video. Inshallah we will meet again in our next video. Thank you.